Hello and welcome to the Retro Detroit Nerdfighters podcast. My name is Ian, the well-informed, and I'm here with Phil the Philip-Badger.
I think we should start selling this podcast as an NFT. What do you think, Ian?
I don't know what that. I mean, the only thing that I can compare an NFT to is the T800, but that's an old reference.
That's something else entirely. I mean, we would just need Arnold Schwarzenegger to come back from the future and stop that.
Yeah. Take down the T1000 and
so what's going on with you, Ian?
Not too much. Just we first didn't have a lot on our plate. Now we do. I wanted to first. I want to get this serious topic all the way first, and that's you hear about the news report about affirmations in Ferndale.
I have not, no.
So there's a group of guys. I'm not going to disclose who they are, but they're protesting outside of the affirmations building in Ferndale, saying certain words and things like just
words that you don't repeat in polite company.
Things that are more associated with Westboro Baptist Church and things like that.
Okay.
That type of thing. For those who don't know what affirmations is, it's a building that supports people within the LGBTQ community. And there are affirmation buildings across the country, but I know yeah, I find this to be kind of disgusting because it's just affirmations in Ferndale has been I don't know, it has been around for at least 10 years or more.
Or more, yeah, definitely.
And they're probably one of the most they've been around for a good long while. I'm trying to remember. They used to be a retail store before they were affirmations, but
I remember it used to be like a big old drugstore, and then that closed, and I think that building was vacant for a little while, and then affirmations took at least part of that space.
Yeah, so they've and because of it, Ferndale has grown a lot because of it. And so now there's people who are putting up signs and things like that are more indicative of like Westboro Baptist Church type stuff.
Right.
No, I find that to be pretty disgusting in the in in that right. And wish from a COVID standpoint I could help them at least a little bit, but uh, we're we're spreading the word here, and that's what I can. That's what I can do.
We
That's
can
what we
spread the
can do.
word and call out the disgustingness of it, and know that I do I do feel that those kind of attitudes are disappearing, but we definitely know they're still out there. So
Yeah, absolutely.
can't tell if it's just folks who harbor those attitudes have learned to keep quiet, or if it's really just folks' attitudes are changing. So
Yeah, I hope I hope their attitudes are changing, just because in terms of business, we really, in terms of one, we can still be friends and not agree with how people not agree with what people are doing, but
well, I mean, there's friendly disagreements about uh, you know, taxes should be at this level and not this level. And then there's disagreements about the basic humanity of certain subgroups. And as I'm getting older, I'm finding it hard to have conversations with folks with the latter type of disagreement.
yeah, yeah. I wish I could say more than that. That Instead of just saying yeah and being like an Usher song or something like that, but I don't have
You know, I
much else
I
to say about.
if I have to explain to somebody why they should treat somebody else as a full human being, I'm just gonna have a hard time relating to them in any sense, and I'm gonna want to end that interaction as fast as possible.
Yeah, but let's see. What's a good transition out of this? Um, I think the best transition we can put into there is I've been playing Enter the Gungeon.
Ah, any what made you want to try that?
um, as you know, had a job where I've had jobs where I've needed to work on my uh, where I work with speed and accuracy, basically.
Right.
So I
Mm-hmm.
picked a game that I thought, oh, this is going to up my my
That's gonna up your
dexterity and things like that.
speed and accuracy. Right. Okay.
Yes, and I'm finding this game can be uh, very hard on many levels. It's like you don't get hit, but then there's places where uh, you probably will get hit, and it
Gotta
makes that
yeah,
game.
and I think I tried that once or twice, and my abiding recollection is it's real hard to heal yourself if you do get hit. So,
And
and that
there's oh, sorry.
oh, I was gonna say I don't I think it's very rare that you find healing items at all, which you know for me you know I don't know if it's age or a lack of familiarity with the game, and I'm sure it's some combination of the two. I get demolished in that game, and it doesn't make me want to push. I don't really want to push. I don't see a way how to push forward.
I mean, there's from what I've seen, there's over 300 guns and 300 guns in Enter
Hmm.
the Gungeon that you can,
Right.
and like maybe 50 of them are actually good guns.
Hmm.
So it's
Well,
like,
kind of the Borderlands model where they advertised as having some bazillion number of guns, and like that, I only found like 3 or 4 to be actually useful.
Yeah, it's just they're centering it around difficulty and um out of all the reviews that I've seen about Enter the Gungeon, they never the look is of course Legend of Zelda 1, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's that
Oh yeah.
look,
Mm-hmm.
but the feel is actually Star Fox 64, where you have blanks that kind of shoot this white area bomb,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the dodge roll or the barrel roll.
Right. I've never
And
played Star Fox 64, so
one of these days,
never been a Star Fox fan, in all honesty.
oh,
I've
one of
tried
these,
the first one, and I can't get into it.
I Star Fox 64 is probably one of 20 games I've repeated playing more than I'd say 50 times over my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the games that I've played a lot of. I feel like it has a lot of return quality, or
Mm-hmm.
um, but it's not an easy game to master.
No, I don't suspect that it is. I'm sure there is it. Is there for all the times that you've played it, do you still feel like you're discovering new stuff?
Like, I have never fully finished the game. There's this one
Oh, okay.
area, and when I say fully, I mean like completionist type stuff. There's one stage in that game that I every stage you play on, what they stage, it's a world, of course, and you know that. Um, each stage has a medal that you can get by killing a certain amount of targets, and the one place that I'm unable to get a medal is Sector Z.
Mm-hmm.
I always, it wants you to get 100, and I always get like 95.
Mm.
if I got that, if I got that 100, then I would go on to hard mode and complete it. But I've played that game dozens of times, and always, it's always, I like the feel of it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't explain why I like that game so much, to be honest. But I've always, I've always, um, I understand what to do when certain enemies show up, and then you try to, whether you have to be defensive and dodge, or just go out on the attack, things like that. But yeah, in terms of Star Fox 64 and Enter the Gungeon, I really like those games, but uh, Enter the Gungeon is a level of hard I haven't haven't dealt with since Diablo, when I first found out
Mm-hmm.
that game.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. But what do we want to talk about next? What's a good transition?
Well, how would you? So, would you move on from Enter the Gungeon? Would you ever want to take revenge?
Oh, vengeance
With
is a dish best
Revenge of
served
the
cold.
Revenge of the Gungeon or something, or
Um, you know, the only game that I would want to seek revenge with is TMNT Turtles in Time, but
oh, okay.
that's the only one that I'd want to seek revenge for. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, we can go with that. Um, because you do. It's been a while. It's been ages since I've finished that game. But you basically defeat Shredder at the end. Do you like strand him in time or something, or what?
I mean, basically with that game, you go through certain time dimensions like spoiler warning, I can't say that this is really a spoiler, but like Slash from the TV series, you can find them in this prehistoric days, and then Leatherhead, you can find them on a train going west.
Because he's in a Wild West themed level, isn't he?
Yeah, and, and the game is themed around the time zones are themed around each character to fit them best.
Right.
I
Okay.
mean, in the second half of the game.
Okay.
You, I mean, there really is no good theme in other generations where Baxter Stockman would fit in other than present day.
Right. Uh-huh.
Um, but no, I saw this week that, and I know that you know this trailer for a game called Shredder's Revenge.
Oh yeah, yeah, I did see that. Um, yeah, and it looks like a nice little throwback to to actually Turtles in Time and the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. Um,
it it looks more of like it looks a lot like Turtles in Time. How
mhm,
I mean, at the end of the trailer, it showed that you can throw enemies at the screen.
right. Which I always enjoyed doing in Turtles in Time.
Yeah, and then Bebop and Rocksteady are their own kind of individual characters this time around.
hmm
And um, and what did you think about it? What did you think of the trailer?
I'm thinking, okay, that looks better than any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game I've seen in the last 20 years. So tell me more.
I mean, like, there are some theories that the art style and animation is going to lead to a TV series based on
Uh-huh.
that art style. I don't
Okay.
know about I don't know about that,
I
but
don't know if I
it
could.
does.
I don't know if I'd be down for a TV series like that, but not like I have time to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know if it'll happen, but I can I can see it happening. I can see
It
something like that happening.
couldn't be any worse than Sonic Boom.
Have you have you have you seen the TV show for Sonic Boom?
No, I haven't. I've
I
I've actually heard it's not that bad. The game obviously was total garbage, but
I've seen some clips of that, and it is the type of show where each character is sort of self-aware.
Okay.
Even Sonic is more like down to earth and is like, oh, I have
Does
to be with my friends, and
does he break the
um,
fourth wall at all?
yes, he does.
Oh dear.
It's like, um, you know, at one point there's this like this loaded cannon from back in like the 1800s, one of those type of cannons, and it gets dragged off into space, and Sonic is like, they're affecting canon. We have to do something about it. So it's
Okay.
kind of oh, after this, I'll send you stuff.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
it's quite funny.
I've seen like maybe a handful of clips, and that's been about it.
Uh,
I think most of the clips I've seen have involved Knuckles. So
uh, now the Sonic ones um, are pretty funny. They do the person behind it, the person who voice acts for it is really good, and no, it's not Jaleel White.
mhm.
Um, but we were talking about Shredder's Revenge. Um, uh, the it looks like a good game so far. It's from the people who made it's by the team that made Scott Pilgrim versus the World and also something else. I forget.
Did they did they do anything with Streets of Rage 4 at all, or?
Oh, yep, Streets of Rage 4 as well.
Okay.
So it's by that team or those teams.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
I would definitely put a lot of trust in those teams.
yeah. And although I haven't played Streets of Rage 4, that is a game that I would buy if I get time.
If you get time. Although you could just be like me and buy games and, have plans or plans to get to them later at some undetermined point in the future when the stars align.
Yeah. Air games, you don't exactly have to have a plan. It just
Yeah.
good.
It's not
It's
like
good
they're a
to
loaf
have
of
one.
bread where they go bad after a while, although if there's a heavy online component that goes away before you get to it, that might be a different story. But those are still, I think, pretty much the exception.
Yeah. Um.
Anthem.
Yeah. Yeah. And we should talk about Anthem a little bit because we know
Why
that
start
it's
now?
huh.
Why start now?
I mean, that was exactly what I was gonna say, but anyway, why start now? I mean, because we know that, and the reason, um, not addressing Phil, but reason why Phil's laughing is because basically, Anthem is dead at this point. They stopped production of it, right?
Yeah. They basically announced that in they were EA was working on something called Anthem Next to try attempt to revitalize the game, and they've decided to not do that. And I don't know if there's been an end date for the game announced, or if, it's going to be one of those things where some maintenance guy's going to trip over the power cord on the server and nobody's going to bother to plug it back in, and we'll all notice in 3 months that its Anthem is gone. But who knows what form it'll take.
It'll take the form of Dinosaur Planet.
Oh yes.
Uh, who knows?
Well,
Wow.
prototype's going to leak in about 20 years of what Anthem Next was going to be. We'll have to play it on an emulator of some sort.
Yes, it'll show up as DLC on Left 4 Dead 3.
You mean or do you mean Half-Life 3?
Anthem didn't have Half-Life.
Nice. That worked out well.
Yeah. Oh, it's like smooth transition. That Anthem needed a hero, and of course, you wanted to talk about No More Heroes.
Yes. I was pretty excited to see that No More Heroes 1 and 2 is going to have a limited run physical release, so I'll be definitely picking those up. Those are the re-releases for Switch, which are currently available digitally. They'll be coming. They'll be available for purchase from limited run games, and I'll got to get my order in for those.
I may or may not. I have both copies of the game on Wii, so
I still have my Wii copies of those too. I even have the weird PS3 amalgamation of those too.
You said the PS3?
Yeah.
You don't have the DS version of it?
I did not know there was a DS version.
I'm not. It might just be PS3. I'm gonna have to research a little bit. But not sure if I would buy the physical releases on the Switch. No More Heroes. Yes, that's it. No. Development.
Yeah, I think it was called Desperate Struggle.
That's that is Desperate Struggle was No More Heroes 2.
Oh, Heroes Paradise is what it's called.
Yep, Heroes Paradise. That's it. Yeah, out of the three games on the No More Heroes sort of franchise, Heroes Paradise was probably the worst of all of them, but it's still, from what I've heard, it's still not bad.
I've kind of heard that that Travis Strikes Again wasn't very good, and I still haven't picked it up myself. So.
No, not here. Yeah, Travis Strikes Again. Yeah, that's the DS version.
That's a Switch version. They made that for Switch a couple of years ago, I think, kind of to test the waters to see if anyone would be into a No More Heroes 3.
Yeah.
which we know is coming later this year. So
yeah, and there's and you've seen the trailer for that, right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes, it's insane, and I'm all for that.
yeah, I'm definitely getting that game. I'm gonna see if I can get a physical release of it or not, but we shall see. But yeah, look, hey, No More Heroes 3 looks like a good game.
Hmm.
um, I've always liked the combat system.
I've just always like how straight up bizarre it is.
I mean, they've changed the name of the studio. It's went from being Suda 51 to Grasshopper Manufacture.
Well, I think isn't. I thought Grasshopper Manufacture was Suda 51 Studio.
It could be.
Yeah, Suda 51 is he's a designer. He's got that name recognition of, say, Hideo Kojima. Um, so, and then Grasshopper Manufactures his studio. That's how I took that as.
It could. Yeah, it could be. I. It just. I'm looking at the wiki and it says the developer is Grasshopper. So.
Hmm.
Uh, but no, I've always all the games that are like M for mature that are made from Nintendo are always usually always really good games, whether it be like Conker's Bad Fur Day or Bayonetta or this
Hmm.
No More Heroes.
Well, No More Heroes, I think, was published by Ubisoft. So at least the first two were back in the day. I'm not sure who's publishing number three, but
Let's see. I mean, I'm just saying that with Nintendo, the whenever they make an M for mature game, they're always usually very good.
hmm.
But whether it be something like Conker's Bad Fur Day or things like that. Um, but I gotta go back to um, the list. What else? You wanted to talk a little bit about WandaVision.
Yeah, did you're not into the MCU, are you?
Less than others just because of time.
Right. Well, this was the first after Avengers Endgame, this was the first thing that Disney Marvel was able to get out the door here. They had a big slate of films that was set to release last year, which I think we remember what happened with that, so we don't need to go into that. But it looks like Disney's crossing their fingers right now that theaters are going to start to reopen and can start getting their movies out again, which
Yeah,
I'm a little less optimistic for that, but WandaVision was a fun ride. Um,
I mean, give it 6 months. The deadline dates for all the vaccines are getting pushed down. Like Michigan said, people are eligible starting April 5th. So
mhm,
so I say maybe give it 6, 7 months, see what happens
right. Oh yeah.
at least. Um, but no, I've heard great things about the finale for WandaVision.
Yeah, basically, don't and I've heard quite a lot of folks were disappointed with the ending, but that was because they didn't deliver the ending that they had written for themselves. They didn't go with the ending that Marvel had written. So kind of take those complaints about it with a grain of salt. If you go into it and just are content to go on the ride that it presents to you, I think you'll have a good time.
Yeah, yeah, you cannot please everyone, though.
Nope.
Um, but yeah, I'll keep saying that WandaVision was a bad show just because I've never seen it. So
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, as long as you
that's
lead
fair,
with that.
right?
Well, as long as you make both statements together, I think it's fine.
Exactly. Hey, that's how this show works, right?
Mm-hmm.
um, so yeah, we talked about NFTs. We talked about so the bill got signed into law for the $1,400.
Yay.
And I just love how some of my Facebook friends are like, the money that's being given out doesn't need to be needed by anybody. And I'm like, just stop.
I mean, maybe they don't
You
need it,
can,
but there are plenty of people who do.
yeah. I mean, oh, I'd say a lot of the friends that I know who say that are people who
But I'll
are
bet you not a one of
making
them's gonna send it back. So.
are mostly people who I know for a fact make more than 75 grand a year. So
Mm-hmm.
so they're ineligible.
Right.
So but um but it's good that this money is going to be helping the economy and that it's very much needed.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've seen, from what my friends have posted and things like that, it's absolutely needed.
Oh
um
yeah, definitely.
um let's see. um let's see, so we do you hear about Google and targeted ads?
I mean, nothing lately.
um and on their site, on the YouTube site, they're going to stop. Uh, I need to do a little more research on it, but I'm just. I heard that there was Google is going to be removing like targeted ads on their site so that for some reason I don't remember why, but
Probably to
and
attempt to
this
get the regulators off their back.
I think that's what it was. I'll I'll research it more in the next episode. um, no, like people are complaining that what's it called? Johnson and Johnson is only one shot.
Mm-hmm.
What do
Well,
you think of that?
well, I do believe in somewhat that the correct shot is whichever one you can get. The Johnson & Johnson one is more of a traditional vaccine, which it might squick some people out, might not.
I
But
mean,
I'm at this point, I'll take whatever vaccine I can get.
yeah, same here. I would prefer the Moderna or the Pfizer, but if it comes down to Johnson & Johnson, I'll just say that the second dose was taken by Boris. So,
Mhm. Right.
at this point, I don't care. But the Gungeon. Let's see. Soon enough, I'm going to be. The last thing I wanted to say was I'm going to be taking a class called CCNA, so that's going to be fun. Yeah,
CCNA I forget what that is.
that's the Cisco certification.
Oh dear. That's hardcore.
Yeah,
That's about networking, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh, good luck.
I've taken the Network Plus class, so it shouldn't be that far off. And I do have another certification in networking, so this shouldn't
Okay.
be too this shouldn't be too tough. I just gotta catch up with all the tests that I need to take, and
Right. Okay.
yep, and that's still working. Still, yep. But yeah, so it's almost almost time. It's time to wrap up. So Phil, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me in my basement, still chipping away on Persona 5. 60 hours into it right now, and not sure how many to go. I don't feel like I'm at the halfway point even. So, but we all know that's a long game.
What game? Sorry.
Persona 5, and
Yeah,
this is the Royal Edition. So it's got some extra stuff on top of the base one that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's a long game regardless. But yeah, you can find me at inform.com, informed with an A, playing Enter the Gungeon on
All right,
an Xbox controller.
Okay, that's even better.
But yeah, as always, wear a mask, stay safe. Don't be that guy, and DFTBA, right?
Yes, and one last thing, if you're going to get Super Mario 3D All Stars, you have until March 31st for some unknown reason that's only understood deep in the bowels of Nintendo.
Yep, I can't. I don't know why either. All right.